Ted, are you nervous about your big Chicago debut today?
Extremely. I really hope Chicago likes Hallmark movies.
As much as you do?
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever seen a Hallmark movie.
Jeff.
Not once?
Not a single Hallmark movie.
Why would I?
Well, you're not very festive.
Joyful.
Like, you don't...
Yeah, you don't... Yeah.
Warm, fuzzy.
Sweet, nice.
I'd invite him over, but I don't really want him at my house.
That's weird.
Roll the over.
Here we go.
Let's make it a good day.
You're a tiger. Give it up for Debbie Gibson, everyone.
We do it our own way.
Yes!
I'm gonna start crying and laughing so hard.
I did not do that.
Now, here's Jason.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to the show. You are in trouble. Welcome to the show, everybody. Thank you for being here. Happy Monday. Thank you. We're glad that you're here, kicking off a brand new week. Such a good show today. People that know me think that I'm a Disney World expert. She makes me look like an amateur. Brooke McDonald is on the show today. She is a social media superstar that's going to tell you how to save a lot of money. Plus, somebody on the staff, and I won't say who, but somebody on the staff just got into a lot of trouble with Netflix. I'm not going to say who, but I'm getting ready to introduce her. Let's start the show, everybody. Let's do it. Audience, please say hello to my sidekick sister, Kendall Mark, everybody.
Hi.
How you doing?
I'm fine.
Yeah. Hey, I heard a rumor that you are in Netflix jail.
Purgatory.
Are you in Netflix purgatory? Did you get busted? Are you one of the people?
I did. I was so upset.
You are a victim of their password crackdown?
I would like to say I'm a victim as well. I am a victim of this injustice.
Okay, yeah.
So, my husband was camping this weekend with, ironically, my mother-in-law, whose Netflix we steal. He's gone, and I'm like, I'm gonna watch all my juicy things now that he's not here. And I got the screen that was like, you are not part of the main account. Would you like to add an account? Are you traveling? I was like,
you got busted.
I was shamed.
The free ride is over.
We are
wow.
cut.
The gravy train ends.
I know. Well, and Jordan, when it didn't happen right away, we were both kind of like, he said, well, my mom and Mike have had Netflix since you got the DVDs in the mail. So maybe they have some in and we're not going to get cut off.
Wait a minute. You thought, now I love your mom, but you thought Sid was super, super special.
Oh, no, not my mom. She doesn't give me anything.
Whoa.
Whoa.
Your mom watches this show.
Okay. To be clear, I meant she doesn't give me her passwords for the thing.
Oh, this is your mom-in-law.
My mother-in-law.
Got it.
Who also watches the show. Hi, Diane.
Yeah.
So she was, I guess they went camping, and I texted her, and I was like, it's over. It's officially over.
Yes.
And he's like, my mom says if you want, you could add it. We just have to pay them. And I was like, no.
It's $8. It's $8 more.
No.
And I don't know. I have several people on my account.
Not anymore.
I'm not gonna. No, I do. I have a couple people. I don't know where we stand right now with the account.
Just wait till you get your
I'm
bill.
waiting. I'm going to hear from my mom if she gets cut off, and I'm going to hear from Dar immediately. I haven't yet. I don't know. So.
Well, just so you know, you can, as that user, just add the information. So I think I didn't do it, but you might just get a bigger bill.
That's fine. My mom is worth.
Bill.
I will spend $8 more to make sure Dar has quality. To make sure Dar has quality Netflix entertainment. Yeah.
Well, I'm about to start a GoFundMe, so if anybody's interested.
Well, yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm sure the audience is going to feel real bad for you. Yeah. You can be on our account if you want.
Thanks.
Yeah. But it'll cost you the $8. Yeah. Let's get started, everybody. It's time for the hot dish. Roll it, Leo. Here we go. Oh, it's down here now. There we go. First up, just when you thought Jennifer Coolidge's run on The White Lotus was over, think again. The series creator, Mike White, says that he's considering a prequel series. That's right, he's considering a prequel series centered on Jennifer's character. He said he's considered making Jennifer 20 years younger and says he bets she would be down for it. Jennifer won an Emmy for her role in The White Lotus. Mike is already at work on creating season 3, which we hear is going to take place somewhere in Asia. Somewhere in Asia. I don't know.
Do you think it would work? Because you loved this show, the second season, right?
A prequel?
Yeah.
Yeah, no. Look, I love Jennifer Coolidge's character, but the problem with prequel is the problem with prequels. There's no drama because we know where the story ends. You know, we know Jennifer's fate, so there's no danger. There's no drama, and that's the overall arching problem with all prequels. And look, we had a good run with Jennifer's character. I don't know if we need. No, we did. We had a good run. I mean, it doesn't.
Off into the dust.
That's the problem. Look, and I'm guilty of it too. When we love something in pop culture, my God, we go back to that teat. You know what I mean? We go back to the teat until that cow doesn't have any more milk. And it's like, leave the teat alone. Leave it alone. Yeah.
I mean, I could have done without that expression.
I'm sorry. I'm a farm boy, so that's why, you know.
Sure. Okay. Indoor kid.
People in Chicago believe me. Stop it. Anyway, next on the dish. The godfather of Marvel, Stan Lee, is the subject of an upcoming Disney Plus documentary. Bless you. The trailer dropped over the weekend. Look at this.
Look great, Hef.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's a camera wrap on the creator of Iron Man, Mr. Stan Lee.
Hi, I'm Stan Lee, editor of the Marvel Comics group of superhero comic magazines.
We didn't have any money. It was during the Depression, but I would read everything I could get my hands on. And man, I felt as though I could go anywhere. What I tried to do was write the kind of stories I would want to read.
Our superheroes are the kind of people that you or I would be if we had a superpower.
It's really a religious crusade, I like to think.
Stan Lee hits Disney Plus on Friday. No, we were just saying this. You think of, especially now, where movie studios, especially, Disney, Warner Brothers, most of the big movies now are superhero movies. So think of a guy that has touched pop culture more right now than that man right there, creating and co-creating some of the biggest characters around. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's no small feat.
No, and I think even if you're not interested in the Marvel Universe, whatever that is to you, it's always really fascinating to hear about people's lives who have done something so incredibly huge with their life.
Yeah.
Just his life story in general is fascinating.
I just always loved trying to find out where he was in all the Marvel, because all the Marvel movies, the modern day ones, Stan Lee would pop up like Alfred Hitchcock used to. So it's always fun to see where's Stan going to pop up now, and where is he? He's just a good guy. I only had the chance. I interviewed him once.
You did?
Very nice, yeah. Once. I think he was here for something, and it was a weird day because I went from interviewing him, and then I went to interview Maya Angelou in the same day, and it was like, I went,
Whiplash.
I went from I know why the caged bird sings to I know why Superman flies. And it was just like, it was like that. I don't know. Let's move on. Next on the dish.
Quite the day.
Quite the day. Next on the dish, the Tony Awards were held last night on CBS. That's right. I knew audience coordinator Aaron would get a big applause from that. But it looked different this year because it happened amid the Hollywood writer's strike. The show and the Writers Guild reached an agreement. I'm glad they did this for no picketing. And how they did this, there would be no writers working on the show. And that meant no monologue. Instead, they did a dance number. Look. Hey, you know what? It's better than most of the monologues done for these award shows. Seriously, I would watch this all day. Ariana DeBose was the host yesterday. Kimberly Akimbo, a show about a high school girl with a genetic disorder, won Best Musical. Amongst other. Some Like It Hot was a big winner. And then no award though for Leah Michele for that's right, she can't be nominated. That's right, Jeff said that before the show. She can't be nominated, but a little bit of dish.
Yes.
Alex Newell, who is in, I believe, Some Like It Hot. Shucked, the Korn musical. Alex and Leah famously had a little feud. Alex revealed how Leah allegedly treated them during the making of Glee. Well, it seems they made up because Leah posted a beautiful photo of the two of them during the Tony Awards. I thought, there's peace in the valley. There's peace in the valley. Yeah.
I loved that number, and they didn't sing or have any music, like actual words too, as kind of a nod to the writer's strike.
Yeah.
The actors performing in that. I thought it was perfect for the Tonys, one. But two, also, I just thought that just doing something a little bit different kind of makes people actually interested in it again.
Absolutely. You know? Lots more to come. I hope you stay interested in this show. We'll be right back. Back in a moment, everybody. Welcome back. Welcome back, everyone. Portia and Sheree, she by Sheree from The Real Housewives of Atlanta were on Watch What Happens Live last night, and that is our late night rewind.
Who's the most embarrassing celebrity you've ever had a sex dream about?
Oh, embarrassing celebrity I've ever had. Oh, I don't have dreams. What? I don't dream. I don't sleep enough to have a dream.
You don't sleep enough to have a dream?
I don't get into REM sleep. No, I don't.
Okay, well, we need to talk about that.
We do. What Real Housewife is the biggest bully on social media?
Oh my God. I would have, on your show?
No, on
period.
Oh, period? I would have to say Brandy Glanville.
Okay.
And Candace Dillard.
Yeah.
Oh, well, Brandy doesn't surprise me. Yeah, Brandy doesn't surprise me at all.
She's like
I like the drama that she stirs sometimes, but she's a little too much. It's time for a special serving, a hot dish all the way from Hollywood. Audience, give it up for Brad from TMZ.
Hey, good morning, Jason. Hey, everybody.
Hi, buddy. Okay, now see, we usually know this feels normal. We talked to you on Friday and it felt weird. So this feels right.
I know this feels right, but we got a lot more week left, and I don't like that.
I know, I don't like that
Friday
either.
was nice.
Hey, this is all over the place. Kevin Federline lashing out at a report about Britney and possible drug use. What's this?
This got pretty intense over the weekend, Jason, because there was a report done that quoted Kevin Federline and said, allegedly he had said that he feared that Britney Spears was on meth, and he hoped that would get exposed so that she could get some help. Now, clearly Kevin saw that report, and he is refuting it because he gave us a statement yesterday where he slams this report. He said, this is just all lies. It's hurting my family. It's kind of dragging Britney down as well. And the reason I find this so interesting is because it's no secret Kevin and Britney haven't gotten along for what feels like decades now, but at least the last several years, because remember, they have 2 sons together. Britney has not seen those boys in over a year. So to see him defend her like this, you really have to kind of assume, or you have to at least believe him, that he didn't make these claims.
I do. Look, he, over the years, has given us a lot of material to dislike him. I believe him on this one.
Yeah, and that's kind of how I felt too, especially because it's an on-the-record statement. He's really kind of going in on this reporter that claims that he said these things. And just for that on its face, you have to kind of feel that he's telling the truth.
Next up, Tom Schwartz appears to try to distance himself from the Vanderpump scandal. What's he saying?
Yeah, I mean, and rightfully so, because Tom Schwartz and Tom Sandoval, they were best friends. They have a business together. They own a restaurant here in Los Angeles together. But Tom Schwartz, he is about to be on the new Fox show that you see there, Stars on Mars, that's going to be premiering tonight. And he talks Scandival. He says, look, I'm trying to distance myself from Tom for a little bit. Obviously, we were business partners and continue to be business partners. But what he did just isn't right. And you see Tom Schwartz really realizing that.
Finally, The Bachelor. By the way, I can't wait to watch Stars on Mars. I'm going to watch it tonight. It's the most ridiculous title ever, but whatever.
It's the best. I know, I can't wait.
Finally, The Bachelor from earlier this year says he's done with reality TV.
Yeah, and it's kind of interesting too, because you kind of wonder, okay, when does the fame or the 15 minutes, if you will, run out? And it's Zach Shawcross, who of course was The Bachelor. He did get engaged on the show, but he tells us, look, I've done the club appearances. I've made the reality show life work for me, but now I'm ready to get back to a 9-to-5 and have a consistent paycheck and do something I'm really passionate about. And you have to imagine, I think they've done over 25 seasons now, The Bachelor, close to 20 for Bachelorette. That's a lot of people who are looking for work after this reality TV lifestyle kind of runs out.
If you are a former Bachelor, call 1-800. Yeah.
That's it. And he wants a sales job. I mean, good for him.
Well, I mean, hey, I always wonder how these people can get all this time off of work. You know what I mean? When they go on these reality shows, I think practically, how are you convincing your boss to take all of these weeks off?
It's insane. I mean, you think of Survivor, I think it's like they get a month or so, and then they do after show stuff, appearances, and yeah, credit to them. I think you just have to kind of quit.
Basically. Thank you, buddy. Have a good week.
Thanks, Jason.
More of these stories at TMZ.com. So next in the dish, Jennifer Aniston. She gets lots of compliments about her looks, you know? But there's one compliment that really, really gets under her skin. And I love this. I read this over the weekend. I thought, oh, yeah, I get that. In a new interview with British Vogue, she says when people say that she looks great for her age, it drives her bananas. She said society has a habit of using markers for every age, but she says she's in better shape now than when she was in her 20s. Mm-hmm. So, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It is, what do you call it? You have a term for it. It's not really a full compliment. What did you say?
Oh, it's a 3/4 compliment.
A 3/4 compliment.
Yeah.
Because it's really not a compliment.
Yeah, you're like, thanks.
And I never, and I'm sure I have said it. I've probably said it on the show about somebody.
Right.
I never realized until she put it that way. I'm like, oh, that's really not nice, or it's really not a full compliment.
Right.
We were saying in our meeting, and look, I'm appreciative that people even come up and say anything to me, but I would say one of the top 5 things that is said to me when people come up, and it just happened twice over the weekend, was I had one woman say that I look younger in person than I do on TV, and then I always say, and my response is always, I don't know if that's a compliment. And then the other is you look smaller on TV or on person than you do.
Yep.
Yeah. Hello, camera, 5 pounds. Yeah. And Fox bought the 6.5 pound cameras. So, yeah.
It's known.
It's 6.5 pounds.
Nobody says that to me anymore, but.
No. Yeah. We got these cameras on sale. We didn't have the add 5 pound cameras. We got the 6.5 ones.
Sorry, everybody.
Yeah. No, but and look, and now people are going to be freaked out to even come up to me. No, go ahead, but it's just, I never know how to react. I had a drunk woman. She sat on my lap. I could stop there, and that's offensive, but I was at a bar, and she sat on my lap. She says, hi. And I go, hey, girl. And she's like, she just plops down right on my lap. I'm eating my pizza. You know, I'm just trying to have a nice night. She plops down, and she goes like this. She goes, you look thinner now. And I went, you look drunker now. Like, you get off my lap.
What are you doing?
The hell am I? One of those department store horses? You put a little dime in and
make a wish. Santa Claus.
Yeah. Next in the dish. Speaking about looks, this was the other story that got me thinking. Kristen Davis, you know, Charlotte from Sex and the City, is opening up about the backlash that she has received for using fillers. And let's be clear, I would actually add to that and say using excessive fillers. So here's the story. The Sex and the City actress says that she's shed a lot of tears after getting criticized for using fillers and Botox. She told a British tabloid or something that she has found it to be a challenge to accept herself as she ages. She said she's had work done on her lips, and for the longest time, no one told her that it didn't look good. Eventually, some friends told her to see what it looks like when she smiles in the mirror. Which, if you think about it, and she said this in the interview, you don't smile a lot in the mirror. You know what I mean? That just feels goofy. She was, oh my goodness, I didn't realize what my mouth looked like until I did that. And this to me was a story of, I think those are good friends. It's a hard conversation to have, but I would want someone to say, you know, inevitably when I get a lot of Botox, I want someone to say, Jason, take the chicken cutlets out of your cheeks. You know what I mean? It doesn't look good, you know. My cheeks are big enough. But no, don't you think? Different. It's a story of being a good friend, an honest friend.
Oh, definitely. And I think it's just the age-old story of Hollywood, too, where everyone wants you to look younger. And so you do the things to look younger, and then everybody makes fun of you because you're doing the things to look younger.
Yeah, it's the damned if you do, damned if you don't.
You can't win.
Well, Courtney Cox famously, remember? She did fillers, and then she had them dissolved all out because she realized and I think she looks phenomenal now.
Right.
Yeah, but God forbid women... And some men, I mean, men face it too, but God forbid women age in Hollywood. Next in the dish, Josh Hartnett is coming clean about an alleged feud with Harrison Ford 2 decades later. That was a mighty gasp, Aaron. Audience coordinated Aaron. Oh my God, they were feuding, Aaron.
What?
Anyway, here's the deal. The two co-starred about a bazillion years ago, 2003, on the movie Hollywood Homicide. Back then, word on the street, love that, word on the street was the two hated each other. Josh says that's not the case. He said while they disagreed on some things, that was misinterpreted as they don't get along. According to reports at the time, the two had a rocky relationship and refused to make eye contact with one another. The movie has, by the way, a 30% rating on Rotten Tomatoes. Oof. But yeah.
Oof.
I will say this gently. Because Josh is from Minnesota, he has family here. Don't want to upset the kinfolk, but I mean, let's be clear. Both of them are not bubbly. You know what I mean? No. It's like they're just, you know,
bubbly, happy people.
They're not effervescent. I mean, I've interviewed Josh a few times, and I have a friend, Colleen Lindstrom. My buddy knew him as a kid. Everyone says he is very nice, but not very effervescent, you know. And then how Harrison Ford is a little grumbly, a little grumbly. You know what I mean? You put grumbly and non-effervescent together.
It's not a good mimosa.
It's not a good mimosa. No. Yeah, you know what I mean? Really quick, because some of you are new to me. Early on in my career, in 2000, I interviewed famously Josh Hartnett, and we counted the words that Josh said back to me in this interview, because one word answers, oh God. I don't get nervous,
sweating.
But I was sweating.
Yeah.
Are you ready for this? In a 6-minute interview, Josh said 42 words. It was a great piece of television.
Bravo. Bravo for holding that one together. Bravo.
We got to find that interview. Literally after the interview, I thought, I might go work at Dairy Queen. You know what I mean?
I think I'm
not cut out for this. We got to take a break. Stay right there. Back after this. Coming up. Now, I know a lot about going to Disney World, but she makes me look like an amateur. Our good friend Brooke McDonald is back with money-saving tips if you're planning on going to the most magical place on earth for your summer vacation. Then a little later, what are you saying this week about the show? We're opening up the Jason Show Mailbag. That and more when we come back. Welcome back. Woo! Welcome back to the show, everybody. Well, our next guest is a Disney blogger and knows all the ins and outs of the park. Somebody once said about Brooke McDonald, nobody short of Mickey Mouse knows more about what's happening on the ground in those parks, and I believe it. And she's one of the few people we know who has visited the Star Wars Starship Cruiser Hotel. And we got to talk about that. Audience, give it up for our friend Brooke McDonald.
Hi, Jason.
Hi, Brooke. How you doing?
Hello. It's great to see you.
It's
Welcome to Screens in Chicago, too. We're so excited to be seeing you here on TV.
That's right. Brooke is, for people that know, Brooke is based in Chicago. Brooke, no matter who I'm talking to, I sometimes like to start or end with a compliment. So I'm going to start with a compliment. You have been a massive hit on our show. We can always tell by the reaction. Here's a very nice comment that we got that I thought you would enjoy. This Kathy writes to us via the Jason Show Instagram. It was very long, but this is the gist of it. She wrote, "We went to Disney twice in 2021 without being able to get on Star Wars Rise of the Resistance," which everyone, if you don't go to Disney, it's one of the hottest rides still 3-4 years later. "Thanks to Brooke, we learned all the secrets to do everything we wanted to do. I love her." So, yeah.
Oh, thank you.
Look,
I love to hear that.
That's what Brooke does so well, is help people really. And that's what this is about, helping people with their vacations. We're going to get to a little bit of that a little bit later. But we got to talk about the news of the month. I think it's been about a month. Everyone's heard, whether you go to Disney or not. It was in the Wall Street Journal, on CBS, NBC. The Star Wars Galactic Star Cruiser Hotel is closing up. I know the answer, but how are you feeling about it?
Oh, what a gut punch for our family who loved this experience so much. It's been difficult to really give words to it. It was truly the most powerful, impactful experience we've ever done as a family, our absolute favorite vacation we've ever done. We have been multiple times. Fortunately, we have another chance to go. We're going to return one more time as a family, and I'm going with a bunch of super fan friends to say goodbye to it at the very end as well. It's just a huge shame.
I was going to say, for people watching, Brooke, that won't get to go, never got to go, what's the single biggest loss? Is it the fact that it was really, it was that Disney magic completely immersing you? Is that a good way to say it?
It really is. And I just think, part of the problem was that there hasn't really been time to get the word out about what this really was. It's not a hotel. And people said, they saw the price tag and they said, well, that's the most expensive hotel I've ever heard of. But it truly was this immersive experience where you really came together with your family and with the other guests, and you're surrounded by the most talented performers and really attentive cast members, and it just created this in 45 hours, this feeling of connection, and just it was emotional, it was beautiful, it's just incredible. So I'm really sad for the people who created it, that it didn't get a longer chance. I've heard so many people say, gosh, we were just waiting until our kiddo was 7 and could be old enough to do the lightsaber training, or we'd been saving up, or we were going to go for our honeymoon. And so I just think, I'm afraid the plug was pulled too early, and we didn't have time to get the word out about how great it was. And it's closing in September. And Brooke, it did not take long for the remaining voyages to get booked. Am I right on that? Oh my gosh, no. They paused bookings to move people from canceled voyages into the remaining bookings, and then everything else from now through the final voyage, which is September 28th, booked solid within a day. And now people have been hitting the phones really hard every single day trying to find cancellations. And I've been on the phones a lot talking to them as well, and hearing that they get maybe one a day of people, canceling and getting people in. So there are so many people who, both people who loved it and want to return one last time, and also all of the people who had it in their longer term plan who are now like, oh my gosh, this is my only chance, I've got to get on. It's a shame for sure. Moving from a galaxy far, far away to something closer to home. We saw pictures a few minutes ago of your beautiful boys. A great experience for everyone came back to the parks recently, and that's character experiences. For people that don't know, not familiar with the vernacular, what comes with those experiences? Well, we've been seeing just the increase in the evolution of both returning character experiences that had remained distant for quite a long time following COVID, and some new characters too. Just recently, Ariel from the live action Little Mermaid just started meeting at Disney's Hollywood Studios. It's been a long time coming, but Moana just got her first ever dedicated meet and greet at Disney's Animal Kingdom. And then we've seen some things coming back where you get to get closer and you get to get those hugs. A bunch of the Pixar characters at Hollywood Studios are now back in an area that's been kind of reopened, and it's being called Pixar Plaza now. And you can meet Edna Mode and Mr. and Mrs. Incredible and Frozone and Sully, and just kind of make the rounds and get those hugs. And, you know, just a lot of the characters that we were seeing far away, behind a gate, up on a grassy knoll, things like that, we now get to get close to again.
And Brooke, I know that's very detailed, but if parents are watching, they like what they hear with the character meet and greets are back. The easiest way to see where the characters are, they go under the wait time, right, on the My Disney Experience app, and all the characters are listed there and what time they come out. Am I right?
That's exactly right. And it's kind of hard to find. So I'm glad you pointed that out. It's, you know, there's a home button, a little house, and then it's the one just to the next of it. And if you hit that, it's underneath where the wait times are, and you can see a list of characters. And I do really recommend, if you want to see a particular character, to be sure to check those times. They typically do not meet for the whole, you know, open to close of the park. A lot of them end at 4 o'clock. Moana has pretty limited hours, and then they come and go a lot. So just keeping an eye on that. And also weather does impact character meets too, depending on the costuming and whether they're meeting outside uncovered. So if you've got a priority, definitely keep an eye on those times.
Well, Disney is an expensive endeavor no matter what you do, especially for food. How can you maybe sort of spend a little less money? Brooke's going to talk about the Disney dining plan, if it's for you, when we come back. Back in a moment, everybody. Welcome back. We're back with my buddy. We're back with my buddy, travel blogger Brooke McDonald, the Disney World expert. Okay, everyone watching, if you're planning a trip, you know it's expensive, especially feeding the family. Disney recently brought back what's called the Disney Dining Plan. Brooke, can you explain first what that is?
Yes. So the Disney Dining Plan is coming back in 2024. So it's now available for bookings for stays January 9th, 2024 and beyond. And basically what this means is, for a Walt Disney World vacation package that includes hotel and park tickets, you can opt to add the Disney Dining Plan to every night of your stay. There are 2 different tiers: quick service, where it's all quick service meals and snacks, and then a table service version that would include both table service and a table service and a quick service meal, snacks, refillable drink mug over the course of the day. What's interesting about the dining plan is that it has always been very polarizing. Some people absolutely love the idea of prepaying your vacation, so you're able to, you know, kind of know what you're spending on your meals ahead of time. So it's a nice easy way to budget. And it is possible to save money with the dining plan, but it is also possible to not. So it's not a one size fits all for everyone. I would say, in terms of if you're trying to determine whether it's a good fit for your family, one of the biggest components is it's pretty difficult to save money on the dining plan if you don't drink alcohol. All adult meals include an alcoholic beverage, and those typically range from, you know, $11 to $15. So if that's not part of your meal, then you're kind of losing at least that much value from the cost of that dining plan. And kids 10 to 20 are, you know, they pay as an adult, but obviously they don't drink, for example. So depending on your family makeup, it doesn't always work.
Do you like using it? I mean, because you have a family of 4. Do you enjoy it?
We don't. The reason we typically don't opt to do it is we're not huge eaters. We typically are not the type to go sit down at a table service meal and get a multi-course meal. We don't usually order dessert, for example, and the table service includes dessert. You know, we might get an ice cream a couple hours later in the park. So you really need to look at the components and see if it is the way that your family likes to eat. And if it's not, then it may not work for you. We love to share. A couple things, I can share a few ways that we do save money when we don't do the dining plan, which you can do right now before the dining plan launches.
Yeah. What's your number one tip? Because food is so expensive. What is your number one tip for saving money in the food area?
Well, let's see. When it comes to table service, it is, as we talked about last time, I think on the show, Jason, taking a break and sitting down and having a server and relaxing is really an important way for a family to cool off and chill out in the parks. So while I love table service, we don't necessarily want a, $40 entree for lunch. So I love lounges. There are so many lounges, wonderfully themed throughout both the parks and the resorts, and they are a great way to get that break and that table service experience. But it's typically a blend of appetizers and small plates, and you can order a $20 burger or a shared starter instead of that multi-course meal. A couple of my favorites are Nomad Lounge at Disney's Animal Kingdom. Space 220 Lounge at Epcot is a great way to experience a really cool space that typically is a prefix meal cost if you sit in the restaurant portion, but the lounge is right next to it and you still see everything. And then the resorts have great ones too. I love Trader Sam's. I love Enchanted Rose at the Grand Floridian, Steakhouse 71 at the Contemporary. There are a lot of places to have a table service meal, but not pay table service prices.
Absolutely. There are ways to save. There really are. And if you want more, follow Brooke on social. She can help you out. Brooke, good to see you.
It's so good to see you, always.
All of Brooke's travel articles and content you can find on her Instagram. Her handle is Brooke G. McDonald. I'm not kidding. She can save your family money. We're going to take a break. We'll be right back. Back in a moment. Welcome back. Love that, Brooke. And I said off the top, Brooke from the Chicagoland area. So it's Monday, and every Monday we check out what you're saying about the show, the good, the bad, and the really bad, and more. It's time to open up the Jason Show mailbag. Roll it, Leo. You got mail. First up, many of you shared really nice messages with me personally when I opened up last week, I think it was Thursday, about battling weight issues. Before we read the comment, I had just said that the last 8 or 9 months has been a little stressful. So over the winter months, I got to the point where even this suit I could not button. I only could wear about 2 suits, and humbling to say, but it was bad. And recently I've dropped weight. And anyway, Nancy on YouTube said, I've struggled with weight for more than 40 years. It was really nice to hear you talk about your weight issue. Thank you. And Rachel said, I've struggled with weight my entire life, and what you said really made an impact on me. I'm sure a lot of us appreciated your honesty. Rachel also shared this funny story. When I heard about the Jason Show, I wasn't aware of this show. I wasn't aware of this Jason. The only one I could think of was Jason Biggs. And I was like, who is giving Jason Biggs a talk show? Then I watched the first episode. I was so happy. I didn't know him before, but glad to know him now. And thank God it wasn't Jason Biggs. Shout out from Seattle. Well, thanks for all the love. Yeah.
Who's giving that guy a
He
show?
wasn't Jason Biggs. No, it's nice. You've been open too. I mean, we've talked about body issues. It is so relatable. It doesn't matter where you work. Doesn't matter if you're on TV. I look in the same mirror, and it was real hard. I dreaded coming out here sometimes because, not only I'm public facing, so when I feel bad about myself, it projects out to you guys. Right. So yeah. Next up, many of you commented sort of the same theme on one of our stories from last week. It was the first of our several road trip stories that you'll be seeing over the next few months related to our recent trip to Chicago. This time, executive producer Jeff and I, Jeff is sitting in the front seat with me, shared some funny stories about our secret food obsessions when we were kids, as we call it, when we were puffy kids. Holly said, oh my God, I'm dying. You need to do these trips more often with Jeff. Vera says, I'm crying from laughing so hard. And Aaron says, kudos to you for driving while laughing that hard. Yeah. And Janet commented, "You guys are too much and totally nuts." Poor Colin, I noticed sitting way in the back. I can't wait to see more of this road trip to Chicago. Yeah, I got to tell you, my husband, we thought we were in a big car, okay? Yeah. Colin is, if the next time we see that story or one of the road trips, look all the way in the back. You'll see Colin looks like an Auntie Anne's pretzel. He's like this. He's all crumpled up in the back. But yeah, I know. Oh, he was fine, believe me.
Sorry, Colin.
No, but we laughed. I'm not kidding. The woman that said about the driving, Colin honestly was worried that I was going to crash the car because I was laughing to the point where I couldn't see. And Mary shared one of her cravings when she was younger. She says, when my mom had friends over and sneak spoonfuls of chip dip and butter, and I would eat it under the table when nobody was watching.
That's cool.
Atta girl, Mare. That's right.
I always like to eat those. What are those raw cookie dough? Not raw cookie doughs. The raw dough things that you snap open.
Oh, like biscuit dough.
Yeah, like the biscuit dough. I would, like, if my mom had a few, I'd just hope she didn't notice that. I would eat the whole thing.
You would eat just raw biscuits?
Yes.
Wow.
Like the crescent rolls?
Yeah.
Like the crescent rolls?
Oh.
Yes, honey.
Oh, I don't know if that was safe. I don't know if that's safe.
I'm not condoning it.
Kids, don't listen to Aunt Kendall. Finally, a question from Brittany about something foodie queen Stephanie Hansen wore on the show recently. She asks, I must know where Stephanie got her floral booties. They're so cute. This is a beautiful shot of Steph's legs. So we asked Hansen, and she got them at DSW. The brand is Indigo Road. Stephanie says they're also on eBay. Right. So there we go. Yeah. You can stay connected with our show on social media. Check us out on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Search Jason Show TV, and our personal accounts as well. Kendall Mark, and just my name, Jason Matheson. We'll be right back. Back in a moment. Thanks for the comments. Welcome back. It is time now for the world's shortest segment. It could soon be easier for airlines to keep track of how many vodka sodas people are drinking while they're flying. No need to point at me, that's rude. New technology uses sensors to track what each passenger is drinking and how much is left in their glass. Thank you, audience. We don't like this. It was created to help flight attendants know who needs a refill, but the technology will also allow them to monitor drinks and know who has had too much. No word when or if the technology will actually be used by the airlines. We vote no. We'll be right back. Back in a moment. No. Thanks for being here. Don't forget, we have tickets available for the rest of the week. Go to eventbrite.com and search The Jason Show. Time for the surprise? Goodbye. You know how this works. We don't know what's in this segment until we read it right now. Today, an embarrassing moment caught on tape. A woman was running on a treadmill at the gym. While running, her shoelace got caught, and then things got worse. Her pants got... Oh my God! Her pants got caught in the tread as well. Oh my God! And the treadmill pulls down her pants. The woman is okay, and she actually posted this video. She says she asked the GM for the footage, and it's been making the rounds online ever since. Oh my goodness.
This is why you shouldn't work out.
That's right. That's why you don't exercise, people.
That's it.
Tomorrow. The Cheese Whiz. Carrie Jarrett is back, and she's got all sorts of cheese pairings. But right now, that's going to do it for us. If you're watching and you're a kid that's being bullied, go out there and be yourself, because nobody can tell you you're doing it wrong. Have a great day, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow. No running today.